It's 2 o'clock, time to conduct the business of the Wayne County Board of Commissioners and the City Council of Goldsboro. I would ask if you have your cell phone or pagers, please put them on silent mode. I call to order the special call meeting of the Wayne County Board of Commissioners for today, March the 6th at 2 p.m.
It is afternoon. Good afternoon. And I'd like to call City Council to order, and I'm glad to see them here. There's some interesting stuff going on, and I'm glad to all serve. I think it's going to be beneficial to not only Goldsboro and Wayne County, but to our whole region. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Let's stand for the invocation and the pledge, please. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for today. Thank you for your many blessings. Thank you for the opportunity for us as elected officials to come together for the betterment of Wayne County and the city of Goldsboro. With your guidance, these boards can make the right decisions for the citizens of the city and the county. And we ask your blessings in all of our endeavors. Also, please keep our men and women in uniform that is sacrificing so much for us to have the freedom that we have in America, and give us as elected officials the opportunity to serve them now as they have always served us, the present members, and in the past, for us to have the freedom that we have today. We ask this in your name, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moving right along, the summary of the intergovernmental agreement between the city of Goldsboro and the county of Wayne. Mr. Stevens.
Thank you, Chairman Adcock. George and I have worked on this together, and George said I could take the lead on the presentation, but I certainly look to George to help me deliver accurate information. So, George, if I misstate or leave out something, please work to correct me. Just short summary of the highlights, and I'll come back in more detail on most of these, of the interlocal governmental agreement, is the county intends to build a 50,000 square foot facility consisting of offices related to agriculture and a convention center meeting space with an assembly area of approximately 14,000 square feet. In a 14,000 square foot assembly area, just for a point of reference, you can seat almost 800 banquet style, or approximately 1,000 theater style. So a very nice facility in our community. And also a study the city had done in 2008 suggested that should be at 16,000 square feet for a similar facility. So we're really, really close to what we envisioned as the city council some years ago. So very exciting in terms of size and space within our community. The county would loan the city $3 million at 1.5% interest rate, which is a good interest rate for the county because they get, like the city, very low, like 0.1% on the interest we have in the bank. It's also a very good interest rate for the city, and our borrowing is somewhere in the 2.5%, so it's a good interest rate for both. In a 15-year term, can provide funding for our city's multi-sports complex, which is proposed to be built on 60 acres that the city will lease from the Air Force under the P4 initiative. And so we are working on that lease with the Air Force, but as soon as the lease is signed, this would allow us to have funding to proceed with that project in a very quick fashion. So that's very exciting for us as well. The county would also provide $200,000 for the purchase and or renovation of Goldsboro Country Club. And I will tell you, we purchased and closed on this building last week, so the city does own the Goldsboro Country Club, but we'll be working on the renovations over the coming months. The city would convey 12 of the 18-acre parcel that we own for the purpose of building this agricultural facility. The city would provide a portion of the occupancy tax funding for the construction, maintenance, and operation of this facility to the county as follows. And I'm going to come back to this in just a minute so you know where we are today versus where we're going. But the county would get 33% of the funding for the first 20 years and 25% of the occupancy tax funding thereafter for the operation and maintenance of the facility. Again, I'm going to speak more to that in just a minute. The city would work to recruit a hotel to complement the agricultural and convention center on the 6 acres that the city would have located at the intersection of New Hope and Wayne Memorial Drive. And again, for those that may be unfamiliar with it, this is Wayne Community College here, Wayne Memorial Boulevard here, New Hope Road here. This is the 12 acres that the city would have conveyed to the county. This is the 6 acres we would retain for ownership. And again, with the idea of locating a hotel on this property in the years to come. A little more detail of the agreement. It's a 20-year term with 2 10-year renewals. As I talked about the funding, I mentioned I would come back to that. Our current tax funding is a tax rate of 5%, which generates about $550,000 a year, or $110,000 for 1%. And we're doing a little better this year, but that's about where we are. That's what we budgeted. 50% goes to the marketing side of travel and tourism. 50% goes to the facility side for travel and tourism. Under our proposal, and again, we get our state legislature to help us with this, we would propose the occupant tax to go to 6%. And that is very common statewide. I think about half of those that have any kind of hotel tax, that is the percentage. So we'd add 6%, which under our current year would generate this much, $660,000 in funding. Again, the agreement was asked that the travel and tourism funding or the marketing portion be 33%, the facilities portion be 66%. And then for the city, that would mean our city facilities, we'd have 33% of the funding for 20 years and then a little more in the years thereafter. For the county, it would mean 33% for the initial 20 years, which helps with some debt service during this time frame, and then they would have 25% of the funding for the years thereafter. Some additional items: the city would agree to transfer ownership 12 of the 18 acres that we own. The city would keep the 6-acre parcel at the intersection of New Hope Road, as I had mentioned. We have an agreement there where we would be required to hold all of it until we attract a hotel for the first 5 years. And after 5 years, we would have to reserve 3 acres for a hotel. If not developed on the 12 acres that we would give to the county or donate there, if not developed within 10 years, the property would revert back to the city. And any use beyond the agricultural center we would have to talk about just to make sure it's in keeping with the travel and tourism funds that bought it. Again, the multi-sports complex, I mentioned that before, funding for that. City would waive our water and sewer tap fees related to the agricultural and convention center development. The county would appoint a center representative to an advisory board, whatever that may be in the future. It may be one appointee to a board of 10 or 20, but the county would have ultimate say and control of the facility. It would just allow the city to have a voice and understand what's going on with the convention center portion of the facility. The county would contribute $200,000 towards the purchase or renovation of the Goldsboro Country Club. That would entitle them to 6 free uses. More than that, I would assume, if they really had an interest in using, but for sure they'd be guaranteed a minimum of 6 rent-free uses per year as long as we were renting it as a rental facility. For the convention center facility, it is being built and constructed for the purpose of agriculture, so that is certainly in a priority booking. I don't know if we'll book this 2 years out, or I say we, if the extension service will book it 2 years out or 3 years out or 6 years out, but whenever the general public can book it, agriculture would have some length of time ahead of that, and then the city and the county would have booking ability sometime ahead of that, and then it would be open to the general public, and that is details all to be worked out. And then the city and the county would each have 6 rent-free uses per year for whatever purposes they may envision for it. The extension service would operate the facility. Travel and tourism would help to market the facility, and additionally, travel and tourism would have 400 square feet of office space within the facility. And then all parties agree we provide mutual ingress and egress for the entire site, and we build a stormwater detention pond together to serve the entire site, which would keep our property along Wayne Memorial, get the maximum amount of development use out of it. And George, have I left anything out?
No, I think you've covered it, Scott. Thank you. Mr. Chairman, you have before you a resolution that, if y'all adopt today, authorizes the execution of this agreement. And my recommendation to you is that you enter into this agreement.
Thank you, Mr. Wood. Mr. Pate, if you would read the resolution for the county.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A resolution approving the agreement between the County of Wayne and the City of Goldsboro regarding the Wayne Agricultural and Convention Center, a multi-sports complex, and the Goldsboro Country Club. That whereas the Wayne County Board of Commissioners is developing the Wayne Agricultural and Convention Center, and whereas the City of Goldsboro is developing the multi-sports complex in conjunction with Seymour Johnson Air Force Base as a P4 project, and whereas the City of Goldsboro has purchased the Goldsboro Country Club and plans to renovate it, and whereas all these projects will have a significant impact on tourism and our hospitality industry and qualify for financial support from the room occupancy tax, and whereas the county and the city
have negotiated an agreement to work cooperatively in the development and the operation of these facilities. Now therefore be it resolved by the County Board of Commissioners of Wayne County, North Carolina, that the intergovernmental agreement between the City of Goldsboro and Wayne County dated March 6, 2015 and attached and incorporated herein by reference is hereby approved, and the chairman and the clerk to the board are hereby authorized to execute said agreement on behalf of the county, passed and adopted the 6th day of March 2016. Mr. Chairman, I put that in the form of a motion. Did I? I'm sorry, 2015, how about that? And it's still in the form of a motion.
I have a motion on the floor. Any discussion? If no discussion, I'll show sign of right hand in favor. Motion carries unanimous.
Mr. Mayor, we have a similar resolution for the City Council to consider, and
Yeah, before we do that, I'd like to, thanks. I'd like to recognize a few people here. One, well, not one, all of them, are great friends of mine. And I would be remiss if I didn't introduce and recognize the commander of the 4th Fighter Wing, the greatest fighter wing on planet Earth. And that is Colonel Slocum. Would you please stand? A lot of these people... And the first sergeant, or the chief, command chief. Thank you, sir. We have a lot of elected officials here, and I'm looking at them, and I'm so proud of the fact that they took the time out of their busy schedule to come and share this moment with us. And would you, I don't know how many of you, but I see, would you please stand, all elected officials? Would you just, I'm sure you know who they are, but thank you so very much for coming and being with us at this very special time. This is history for our great city, and I'm a student of history. Now, Chuck.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, we have a resolution approving an agreement between the County of Wayne and the City of Goldsboro regarding the Wayne Agriculture and Convention Center, a multi-sports complex, and the Goldsboro Country Club. Whereas the Wayne County Board of Commissioners in developing the Wayne Agriculture and Convention Center, whereas the City of Goldsboro is developing a multi-sports complex in conjunction with Seymour Johnson Air Force Base as a P4 project, and whereas the City of Goldsboro has purchased the Goldsboro Country Club and plans to renovate it. Whereas all the projects will have significant impact on tourism and our hospitality industry and qualify for financial support from the room occupancy tax. Whereas the county and city have negotiated an agreement to work cooperatively with each other in the development and operation of these facilities. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the mayor and city council of the City of Goldsboro, North Carolina, that the attached intergovernmental agreement between the City of Goldsboro and Wayne County dated March 6, 2015, and incorporated herein by reference is hereby approved, and the mayor and city clerk are hereby authorized to execute the said agreement on behalf of the city. I offer this as a motion.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion before we vote? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same. Motion's carried. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Before we get comments from any of our elected officials, I would like to recognize HH Architecture. And today we have Christian Hess, Siler Ramsmiller, and Cody Bauer. And thank y'all so much for being here today. Now we will have comments from our elected officials, and I think it's appropriate that we let Mr. Pate go first, Mr. Bill Pate go first. As most everyone knows, Commissioner Pate was the driving force behind this effort. He spent a lot of hard work, days and nights. He's lost sleep over it. But he took on this project, and he's done a fantastic job. He had help from some of the other commissioners, from the city, but he has really worked hard on this project. Mr. Pate.
I think I have 40 slip early because I want this project to start in 2016. That's what I have in my mind. But you know, the construction of the Wayne County Agricultural and Convention Center, it's a huge success for Wayne County. Not only does it promote and bring to the forefront our largest industry, agribusiness, but it also makes Goldsboro and Wayne County a destination point in eastern North Carolina. From an economic development perspective, I can envision such events as tool shows, boat shows, car shows, entertainment events, education events, professional conferences, and the list goes on. These events will fill up our hotels and our restaurants and our shops and will increase our sales tax receipts. Further, it will bring additional business investment, creating much needed job growth. Finally, I want to thank the City Council, the Mayor, Scott Stevens, for partnering with us on this project. And I want to thank my fellow commissioners and George Wood, and not forget our legislative group sitting in front of us who are currently helping us right now. And most importantly, the agricultural community has had this vision for years, and they've been supporting it and have been pushing me hard. Anyway, if I missed anyone, let me say that I appreciate all we put effort in this project. We're going to make it happen. I know we've got several things to take care of before it does happen, but we've rounded third base and we're headed home. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Payne. Does any of our other elected officials have any comments that they would like to make? Mr. Allen.
I'm going to stand up because I want you to see my passion. I got a lot of history in this project. And first off, for those of you that don't know, back in 2001 is when the city bought this land. And we bought this land because Mayor Plunk at the time was on his deathbed. And he asked us to go buy this land. He wanted to have the land for the Civic Center before he died. And before he died, we got a land purchase. And he knew that, so that was a great, great moment, I think. Now, that being said, before we ever started, some of the people in this room will know, there was people working 10 and 15 years before we ever did anything in 2001. So this is a 30-year deal that we have been talking about of some sort, and we've just never been able to do it. So now you look at, here we are today. We've had the land for, what, 14, 15 years, which tells me I've been on the council too long, too, and looking it up. But anyway, what I would say to you is today, look at our partners. We have our legislators who, their work's just now beginning because we put it on them. We need the $3 million in the tax. So y'all got something to do now. So don't forget. But, you know, and we got Wayne County, we got the city of Goldsboro, we got Wayne Community College, we've got the base, we've got the travel tour. Look at, I mean, you'll never see another partnership like this in this county, I don't think, anytime soon. So it's just a huge, huge partnership. And I guess what I want to say from it all is, you know, we've basically gone from not having any really quality meeting space to now pretty soon there's not going to be a reason to leave this county. Every meeting there is should be able to be held in this county. And I'm just really passionate. And I want to tell you, this is, I think, worth saying, this did not come easy. There has been a lot of conversations, a lot of back and forth, and a lot of when we're at the wall and we're getting up and leaving. And every time we get up and leave, somebody say, yeah, but we're right there. This is too important for our community. We got to stay here. And we stayed there, and we got it done. But it was not fun sometimes. But it's a great, great thing. I mean, I don't know how, you know, when you have agriculture coming together with all the other things, I don't know how we can beat this. So I'm just really, really proud of our boards. I'm really proud of what we've done to get this together, and I'm more proud of what it's going to mean to our community in the future. So.
Anyone else?
I would like to ask for all of the elected officials at the state level. I'd like for you to stand and say who you are and take a few minutes to say whatever you'd like to say, but I would like for you to stand and say something.
Give me a microphone.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, and thank you to all of the county commissioners and to the city council members for forging this thing together. And forging is what it was. Now the heavy lifting starts in Raleigh. Senator Davis and I have co-sponsored a bill, and that shows you how we can work in a bipartisan manner to do some good things for this county and this region of the state. Since this first came on my radar screen a few months ago, I've been around the state and looked at some of the other convention centers and agricultural centers that already exist. And folks, these are nice structures. this is not anything like an old tobacco barn or anything like that. This is really top-notch stuff, and Wayne County would be extremely elevated to have such a facility as this. And I think that the diligence has been taken by all of you guys and gals back up here so that we have a great location for this, and now let's design a great building and go ahead and get it done. Now, the $3 million that has been mentioned around here, the only thing I can tell you about that is the first bake sale starts tomorrow.
Well, Senator Pate, I'll say I'll show up through the bake sale tomorrow because, Chuck, it seems like it's been a long time, and I know you've been, and many others have been in this even longer than I have. But this is a great day. It's a tremendous day for all of us, and to see everyone coming together, working together, it means a lot, and it shows the best that our community has to offer our residents when we can come together, and it means that much. I understand I started in local government, and I understand the importance of what's happening today, and I would simply say to everyone here that this is just the beginning of many good things to come, I believe. To the men and women who are serving our military, this is just an awesome opportunity that I think helps us in more ways than one. We know when we start talking BRAC and things like that, it's often not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And as we can continue to position this community for its future, then we will never have to go back down the path that we once did for some years. So to everyone here, let's get ready to show up to the bake sale so that we can keep the funds rolling and make sure that we're successful. God bless each and every one of you.
Thank you.
I think these two generous House members, they don't know, this is not a debate.
Well, I knew things were in business. I meant business when I walked in Chuck Allen had a tie on a Friday. But no, this is an outstanding opportunity. You know, we're very blessed, and the rest of the senators and representatives can tell you, not all delegations work together like we do. We're very blessed in that aspect. When you've got House members on both sides of the aisle and the Senate delegation on both sides of the aisle that works together for the common good of the community. And then you factor in that your city council and your county government were able to work all together for one vision, and this is what you see. And so I'm glad to see that the talking has stopped, the doing has begun, and it looks like Senator Davis leaned in and said, "We're all going to file the bill." I said, "Do we have a choice now?" So it's time to get to work, and we look forward to working with the entire community to see this project through. Thank you.
Thank you very much, members of the County Board of Commissioners and the Town Council of Goldsboro. You know, on these occasions, one always thinks what could be said or what should be said on these magnificent events like this. For me, certain things come to mind. And it's been mentioned here about the hard work that's taken place in the past. When we start talking about the past, that is a reverent issue for me, particularly when agriculture is associated with anything. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a heritage unparalleled of work, industry, thrift, self-reliance, and freedom that has never been enjoyed to the extent that we as Americans enjoy it here. And so I think about the sweat, the toil, the skin off of people's shins. I think about seeing my grandmother being widowed and being on the farm and raising 7 children. And so I would remind us, for something that I know all of us do, when we lay down at night, and that is to thank the Lord for this magnificent heritage of having the freedoms and liberties that we have. There are many important reasons that we have those freedoms, but there are none more everlasting nor more important than one of the main reasons that we are a free nation is because we have the ability to feed ourselves. And we have the ability to feed those who protect us. And so I'm honored to be a part of this project. And I'm honored when we refer to agriculture as being one of the main driving force. God bless us that we might be successful. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have one more person that we must hear from.
Mr. Mayor, first, we do have a representative here from Representative Butterfield's office. I do not know about Representative Holding, whether he has anyone. Yes, we do. So our officials, elected officials in Raleigh are represented today also. Does either one of y'all have anything to say?
Hi, I'm Carol Armstrong with Congressman Holding's office. Sorry he couldn't be here today, but this is a very important day, and we want you all to know, you gentlemen and ladies, that we will do everything we can to help. You know how stingy Washington is, but you know, we've already talked about some funding that might be available on the federal level, and we'll continue to talk with you all about that. And I know that Congressman Holding really appreciates everything that everyone does, and as you said, we're a nation that can feed ourselves, and it's because of farmers, and this is a very important project that you all are doing. And I salute everyone, how you've gotten together, and so does Congressman Holding. And anything that we can do, I'm Carol Armstrong, I'm in the Raleigh office, and you all know how to get in touch with me, and if anything that we can do, we're here to help. So
I've got your number.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Bloodworth, you said you didn't want to say anything, but I don't want to pass you up.
I'm Sonia Bloodworth from Congressman Little's office. I'm here to represent the congressman today because he couldn't be here. But I don't know the details of the project, to be perfectly honest, to comment. But our office is here to support you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you. As we know, it's basically peaceful and quiet in Goldsboro and Wayne County most of the time. But I'll have you know, and you already know, that all hell's breaking loose in lots of parts of the world, all over the world. And hopefully, we can remain peaceful and quiet in Goldsboro, Wayne County, North Carolina, and these great United States. But in order for us to do that, and for us to have that privilege, we have people who are in combat as we speak. And we have, as I said, the commander of the 4th Fighter Wing, the greatest fighter wing on planet Earth, who is a commander of military troops in harm's way as we speak. And I would like for Colonel Slocum to please stand, and I would like this audience to stand and give this man a warm. No, yes, Colonel, I'm sorry. I'm a mayor, Colonel, so I'm saying stand and give it to him. Now, sir, would you please make a few comments for us?
Yes, sir, I will. All I want to say is there is a phenomenal history in this local area, and all of you that work so hard to take care of your constituents. I want you to know my people are your constituents as well. And whether they're voting members here or not, they're living here, and they're going to benefit from all the care that's provided here. All of our airmen and their families are in your schools, they're in your churches, your local businesses are employing them, and I thank you for that. The support that we get from this community is phenomenal. Sir, everything you listed about the heritage of North Carolina and the heritage in this this county is absolutely true. And the one that I will add to that is the incredible support that this community gives our military members. So I thank you all for that, and I applaud you.
Thank you, sir.
Does anyone else have any comments?
Yes. Mr. Mayor, and of course, Commissioner, it's my belief that this city-county agreement is a good one. And I believe that we can accomplish all these much-needed facilities for the benefit of and utilization by the citizens of both Goldsboro and Wayne County. Speaking as a citizen of both Goldsboro and Wayne County, in my opinion, this is a wise agreement that will benefit both the citizens of both. And we that live in the city are actually citizens of both Goldsboro and Wayne County. Our council, our mayor, staff, administrative staff, employees of the city of Goldsboro, as you know, we have initiated a noble effort in revitalizing downtown Goldsboro. We've already received one entitled grant from the federal government. And I think that all came through the state as well as the federal government to the tune of $10 million. And those of you that are riding around, just look around Goldsboro, downtown, and you can see the beginning of something great. And I'm so happy that our council and our commissioners could come together in this transaction, this business. And I hope we can do more of that. Thank you.
One more thing before we leave. I know it's general knowledge that the citizens of Goldsboro now own this building, this property. What you see now, it will change in just a few months. And by June, July, it will be completely changed. And it will be a tremendous events center. We will have a bigger space. We won't have as large a space as we're going to have the Ag Center. And we need that. But we will have the facility here to take care of weddings and parties and smaller things that are needed by our citizens. So I just wanted to let you know that we've done this, and it's also going to help expand our golf course and provide a facility that we desperately need for it. So it's a great day. A lot of things are happening, and we're just proud to be a part of it. And I want to thank our city staff for the outstanding work they've done. This hasn't been easy. And our council, without the council, we would not have done this. The staff can work and come up with ideas and all kinds of great stuff. But if we can't get 4 votes to pass the issues, we're not going anywhere. And I can count to 4. So we do have more than 4, but we do have strong support from our council members. And council members, I'm proud of you, absolutely proud of you and what we've done. And our staff, you see one of them right here. I'll say, look at her, Melissa. This is our awesome city clerk. And how she does what I don't understand it. I don't ask her questions. She just performs. And I'm so thankful for all of them. County commissioners, you guys are awesome. It's been a pleasure of mine to work with you, and we're going to continue to work together. But the managers, these guys have done the heavy lifting for us. I know that. And to the managers, I understand and know this possibly would not have happened unless you led the way and showed us, the elected officials, why we needed this and why it was worth taking a chance. And I'm proud of you. And I guess I've said too much, but by golly, it should be said, and I'm not bashful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. Does any other councilman
Yes, I would
want to speak, or county commissioners?
Yes, I'm going to make this real brief. Chuck, Bishop Williams, and myself, and a few others have been working on this since 2001. Not officially, but off the record. But anyway, we've been collaborating. I'm glad to see this collaboration going on, and I'm glad that we finally doing something that's going to benefit all the people of Wayne County. And I want to say a few words just before Commissioner Doherty take the mic, because he'd probably be here the next hour. So anyway, I want to thank all of you all that participated in this, and it's going to be a great opportunity to get some good things done. Thank you.
Now, how did you know that I wanted this mic? Yeah, when I came in the room and I saw that Chuck had a tie on, I purposely did not wear one today to dress down for Chuck. But I say, you know, this is a momentous occasion, and there was a lot of work that went into this. But I want to point out some things that's in this agreement. Little extra emphasis. And Scott, you did a great job of explaining it, but I want to point out a few things. Everybody knows that convention centers lose money. They cannot produce enough revenue to offset its cost. What this agreement does is bring a continuing revenue source from the hotel occupancy tax going forever, because this tax is now being distributed specifically for the operation of this agricultural convention center. Now, what does that do also in regards to lowering the cost of operation when you have to share it in rental income? So if you are booking this facility, you are at an advantage because the costs are lower. It's already covered in the hotel tax. So when people are booking conventions and they're looking at Greenville and they're looking at the Newbern Convention Center, we can charge a lesser rate here to produce those people here to stay in our hotels. The other thing was, I had someone make a comment in regards to the $3 million loan. And I want to clarify that. Currently in Wayne County, that $3 million is producing a 0.01% for us. Banks are not paying anything in interest. So we, in essence, are receiving for the citizens of Wayne County 15 times our return on investment by lending those dollars. So those dollars can produce a great deal more. Anyway, I won't go into a lot of those. I do want to say that this was not only there were 4 branches of government that were involved here. 4 branches of government found a way to come together in a bipartisan way. Let me stress that. Bipartisan. Everyone you saw voted unanimously for this. So it's a great day, and I applaud everybody that did all that they did in order to make this happen. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Anyone else? Mr. Mayor. I guess this was working. Is it working? Okay. Commissioner Pate left out something very important. He also has lost a lot more of his hair since I was here. But I'm glad to hear that he also included tool shows. And I'm the one that brought this up from the manufacturing sector, because to my knowledge, there's not a tool show for manufacturing tools and machines that has ever been held east of Raleigh. This Convention Ag Center will allow us to bring in some of these tool shows, which is put on by the Society of Manufacturing Engineers, bring in hundreds of machines, and bring in thousands of people per week to visit an exhibition like this. I was at a meeting yesterday at Wayne Community College, and one of my statements was this. I'm starting my 4th year as a commissioner. Boy, time has flown. But I made the statement that with everything that I've seen the last 3 years happening in Wayne County, especially what has happened today, we have set the stage for economic development, not only in Wayne County, but in eastern North Carolina. And if we don't get it done from this point forward, it's our fault, because everything is in place for economic growth to happen. So I want to thank the council, the commissioners, everybody that's involved, the community college, everybody for this day happening. It's way overdue. Thank you so much.
Very briefly, I would like to recognize 2 folk in this room. One is Dr. Sandra McCullough, Sandy, and and Kevin Johnson, our extension agent. And the reason that I bring these folks' name up, they do a lot of work with our children, needless to say. The thing that's so important to me about the center that we're talking about, the Ag/Convention Center, is that it will enhance the ability for our children to see what's real important. Oftentimes they think milk just comes from the store someplace. But I'm looking forward to the day when all the children in Wayne County can be made more aware of what agriculture really is, so they can see it, demonstrations and those kind of things. That's what I'm looking forward to seeing. And yes, I love all the other things that the gentleman here talked about, but I want our children to be able to really see agriculture in its most modern form.
There's one more person that I got her identified. And I don't know her name, but I think it's Dr. Kay Albertson. She happens to be the president of Wayne Community College. She's right in the middle of all of this stuff. And Kay is known for a long time what's going on out there, what we like to see going on out there. And Dr. Albertson, would you just please stand and let us take a look at you? And if you have this is right in your backyard.
We are going to be the best partner and neighbor that Bill Pate could ever imagine. But the beauty of it all is that we really are sharing what is going on and what these governments have pulled together. Woody Albertson and I came to Wayne County as part of the military back in 1979. I could be your mother. But we heard about the potential for a conference center. And we kept waiting. We left, and we came back, and we kept waiting. It's going to happen, and it's going to happen while I'm still active at Wayne Community College. Gentlemen and ladies, I am very, very proud to be a part of Goldsboro and Wayne County and retired military. So thank you all for what you've done. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any of the other commissioners have a comment to make? Mr. Gurley.
This is truly a special day, and it's one key point I like to emphasize. Look around this room, you see and hear and feel all the energy and excitement. And one more person, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Chairman, I recognize. Yes, Chairman of the board, Mr. Chris West, is with us back there too.
Thank you, Mr. Gurley. Just one more quick comment. There's a lot been said today. I think there's been one important thing left out. We were instructed from the farming community from the beginning that they would like to see this happen, but they were not going to stand for any tax increase. And we got the message loud and clear. We're going to do all of this without a tax increase. And if no one else has anything to say, do I have a motion that the county commissioners go out of session? I have a motion on the floor. All in favor show sign of right hand. Motion carries unanimous. Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir. Yes. Okay, anything before we go from the city council's point of view?
I'll make a motion. Come out of session. Second.
Motion and a second. I don't think there's much discussion, so all in favor, let it know by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? We're out of session.
Meeting adjourned.